Salutations and how do you do, cover killers? It is time once again for us to speak about a 2011 release, one that's, well, maybe not getting the attention it deserves, and certainly an album that I have not yet received at the store and probably will not. Which is a shame, actually. And that's Until Fear No Longer Defines Us by the band Ghost Brigade. Now, Ghost Brigade, for me, really fits under a bit of an umbrella of different genres of heavy metal. Now, there have been websites that have defined it as atmospheric sludge. There have been other places that have defined it as more of a cataclonia, so to speak, in some locales of its music and its setting. I like to call bands like this bipolar metal. The most famous incident that I've ever had for bipolar metal was the band Eyes of Fire. Eyes of Fire was a short-lived band that released 2 albums in the 2000s, and what I noted so much in their material was that they did some songs that had more of a slower, more of a calmer tone to it that was, again, kind of reminiscent to some catatonia. And this was the style or the aspect that they did very well. Then they had a harsher style where they tried to fit into a little bit more of the conventional mold, and that didn't work nearly as well. Now, to be fair, the conventional mold also was kind of resemblant to catatonia. However, catatonia does it better. Catatonia just has a better way of structuring their music. Eyes of Fire just sort of fell kind of flat. Ghost Brigade's another story. Ghost Brigade actually is bipolar in the way in which it is represented, where some are going to be that straightforward style and the others are going to be completely of that kind of softer, more recessed nature. And the difference here is that there's going to be a little bit of a climax in a lot of those softer songs, whereas there's going to be just diversions and diversity throughout the remainder of the whole of the album as well. This is an album that is rich in that and is something that actually boosts its score. I like the way in which the vocals are able to really shift a lot. The one thing that I've noticed in a lot of these bipolar bands is that they are trying to expand and kind of cover a wide range and kind of show off all of their different theatrics that they are able to do with their voice. But this is a band that seems to really get right to the point, not to mention do so without really overbearing you with the real range in which the vocals are being represented. Instead, it just feels natural. It doesn't feel as though it's a strain. It doesn't feel that it's all that of a real laborious endeavor in order for these different sides to really be ascertained and made. And that's something that I really enjoy about it as well. Now, the music is also a very big, powerful positive on this side. These are landscapes that are extremely atmospheric in nature, as the original, I guess, idea of what this band was kind of suggests. And it definitely is the one part about this album, and perhaps about this band as I search even deeper into their back catalog, that is perhaps the most impressive part. This is a band that really is able to build a very haunting, chilling scenario on some moments, where at the same time, on the other hand, is able to just kind of go to town, kind of do their thing, kind of do the metal thing, and the funny thing is that if I were to post one of these songs, in fact, if I were to post 2 of these songs, I would definitely attract a wider range and a different and diverse range of likes, let's say on Facebook or something like that. Whereas there would be some songs that would be liked by a more primarily metal crowd, whereas other songs may be liked by a metal crowd still, but also may be liked by a more alternative, dark wave, chilled out crowd as well. It's just kind of a weird little phenomenon. It's the reason why I enjoy listening to bipolar metal for what it's worth, and whenever the bipolar metal idea is being done very well, I enjoy it all the more, because that diversity really tends to help bolster scores. This is an album that I feel has a lot of consistency, but I feel that there are some moments that sometimes can be a little bit forgettable. And that's something that's the only real aspect that's holding this down a little bit from being a good album as opposed to a really great album. So I think that a score of an 8 out of 10 for this one is completely fair and very justified. This is a solid record. I think, though, that kind of like what I said with Decapited's Carnival is Forever, while this album was very strong here by Ghost Brigade, I'm looking for the next one to really move some mountains. So stay tuned and we'll see if that actually happens. Cover Killer Nation saying that tonight I was really asking myself and begging for a surprise. And Ghost Brigade surprised me. They surprised me very well. Something that actually accomplished about 2 hours of my night. So good job to the guys in Ghost Brigade, and I'll see you guys next time.